5 degrees right now, so we ran over to Lowe's and we picked up that little bad boy there, which we're hoping will help to heat up the cabin while we are spending the day laying hose.
Alright, I think we're going to start by moving forward. This is the through hole. This is our raw water intake through hole. And this is all the crap that we're replacing here. I think we're just going to start by going forward and go up to our hose, raw water hose down. We have one both on the bow and on the stern, but the pump is under the V-berth. And so we'll just start replacing the hose that way and work from there. We've also got some new fittings for these. We're going to replace all of these fittings right here and right here. You probably can't see them because it's kind of dark in there. We're going to replace it with a T and a cross. So we got one coming in, and we're going to end up having 4 different different outlet or whatever. It's going to go in 4 different directions after that. So we'll take you along.
So what Jeff is doing right now is he's going to duct tape together our old hose and our new hose, and then we're just going to feed it through, hopefully, so that we can snake the hose through the bilge and not have to deal with trying to figure out how to get it to go through all the nooks and crannies. So as you can see, we haven't cut the end of the hose yet, but we have fed it all the way through up here to our pump. Didn't work perfectly, but we ended up getting it through all right. And now Jeff's gonna remove the duct tape and...
So we came up with a little problem here, and it's another thing. Glad we're redoing this. But the previous hose, this is 3/4 hose. The old hose is also 3/4 hose. But you can see here, maybe you can see here, basically this is way too big for that fitting coming off there. This is probably a 3/8 fitting. Well, what they did with the last one was that they just crimped this down completely. And this is below the water line. This is raw water stuff below the water line. And that was what was, holding in from a major leak, was crimping down on an O-ring. A single O-ring, too. So we're going to have to figure this out. Probably buy some different fittings. But, as Margaret says, this is why boat work is never easy. So, all right.
So right now Jeff is just pulling out all the old hose.
This is the one that goes up to our forward, bow washdown pump. We found another brass fitting down here that is below the water line, and also brass and seawater or raw water thing. It's not very good. It doesn't look. It looks like it's in fairly good shape, but we'll definitely be replacing that as well. I want to curse, but I don't want to curse for the kitties on YouTube. Margaret tells me I need to tell it to the camera. I'm getting pretty frustrated. The fitting through the deck here up to our washdown pump, or our washdown hose, is not a barbed hose fitting. Instead it's like a screw-on sort of thing. And it's almost impossible to get this damn hose over it. And so now we're talking about maybe replacing this deck fitting, but it's like we need 3 different pieces of right now already, and we've replaced 2 pieces of hose. We know that we need 3 fittings that we don't have, and it's just frustrating. As I was just telling Margaret, it's like we're not really doing the job. We're just making a big mess. And kind of finding out what we need to get the job done. And these are all stuff too that we can't just run down to West Marine for. These are stuff we're probably gonna have to order. and that means it won't be here till Monday or something like that. Just really frustrating. And it's kind of cold. So this is our ride to and from the boatyard every day. We're actually heading home in this clip. We only spent another maybe 20 or 30 minutes on the boat after that last clip where I was starting to get frustrated. It was getting pretty damn cold, or was pretty damn cold. Margaret was even colder than I was because I was at least more active. And we just decided that we were getting less accomplished, as we were saying in that post, than we would have liked, and really making more of a mess. So we checked out the rest of the hose that we're going to be replacing and looking for fittings, and we think we've identified everything that we need to order in order to finish this project. I guess maybe we should have done this before, although I can't imagine that we would have actually realized that some of these things were an issue until we got to the point of actually replacing the hose. And we put in an order, and the stuff should be here early next week, so we will be able to get that finished before we leave. And there's a couple pieces of that hose that we can complete over the weekend too, because we don't need new fittings for it supposedly. So we learned a lot about the boat today, and we're glad we're doing some of these repairs. But you know, and I'm trying not to get frustrated, but God, it just pisses me off sometimes when we think we have everything and we're ready to roll and we're excited about getting work done, and then we run into these problems. But that's boat work.